Alright, everybody. We are getting started for our show Indie Inquiries next on the channel. Each week, we review indie game store pages and provide marketing advice for developers and give them the best possible chance of showcasing their games. I am Josh Bycer from Game Wisdom, and joining me from Nexus Games is Sharky.
Hello, everybody. Welcome, and hopefully we'll have our new studio name soon.
So, as always, if you're interested in submitting a game for a future show, please get in touch. We are always happy to take submissions. And I think with that, are you ready to begin with this week's entries?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, I am.
So, we have two games that we weren't submissions, but they were interesting pages to take a look at nonetheless. And we are starting off with Webbed. This is a game that we've both been really looking forward to. I played some of it last week, and it's definitely a joy of a game to play. And the store page itself was one that when we looked at, we weren't sure where the grade was going to go, and it's going to be a very surprising show this week in terms of our final grades.
Yeah, on both of our store pages today, for that matter.
Yep. So, as always, we'll start off with the thumbnail. So this thumbnail, I think from the outside, or just from the onset, it has a good look to it. There's kind of a line going from the crow to the spider to the title.
Yeah, and there's also structure lines from all the webs that are pointing towards the title.
Mm-hmm.
The issue is they're very hard to see, so like it's not pulling your eyes as much as you generally should when you're talking about structure and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But it is definitely pulling your eyes, and there's definitely good structure here.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not as good as it could have been. I don't know what they could have done to enhance that off the top of my head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a little hard to see. I do like the font they use for webbed, and the fact that the web is actually like stuck on the web, so it's not just like a straight line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's great style there.
Mm-hmm. So, like, this is one of those thumbnails that it's kind of a little hard to grade. Like, nothing I would say is wrong with it, but for me, there's not much that's like impacting me on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like, what about you? Like, what are you thinking?
I think it's very visually pleasing. I think the structure is on point. It's just the structure is not as readable as it would generally need to be.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a really solid thumbnail. I just don't think it's the best thumbnail in the world or anywhere close to it. But I do think it's definitely pretty good. Pretty damn good.
Yeah, so, like, again, there's not much here that I would say, this is bad, it must change. Like, the only thing I would agree with Shark on would be, or the only thing I have issue with people I agree with Shark on with the webbing, just maybe being a little bit more pronounced, because, like, I can see a few of these webs, well, a few of these you have to be, like, staring dead on if you want to see them.
I think part of the issue is they had the web fade out too quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And like some of them, like the one right over the bird, they didn't. I just figured out another thing is the web does not have a lot of contrast against the background kind of thing.
Yeah.
So if the background was a little bit darker,
yeah, it's like a little
just
washed
a little
out.
bit, it would make that web stand out more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think for me, grade-wise, it gets a high grade. I just don't think it does enough to bump into the A rank. So I think I'm gonna give this a B plus.
I will bump it into the A range just barely. A minus.
All right. Are you ready for the trailers this week?
Yeah. Let's hope Steam is ready.
All right. Are
No,
you ready?
Steam was not ready.
Okay.
Okay, I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, go. Happy little spiders.
Yep. It's really cute. Not really a code opening though.
Mm-hmm. And the excitement happens at the 13-second mark.
Yeah, this could be considered a code opening,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not at the opening.
Yeah. So now we're seeing just basic gameplay. Now they're showing off like a lot of like different areas, which I do like.
Mm-hmm.
Music doesn't really match. It's delightful music.
Yeah, the music is an issue in this one, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's not bad music, it just doesn't work with what's going on screen.
Yeah. There's a skateboarding.
You gotta love that. You gotta still get good at skateboarding.
Mm-hmm. But I do like how we're seeing different things. It's not just one area for the entire trailer.
And, you're doing different activities as well.
And then we end with laser eyes. And I really like the call to action at the end.
Yeah, it's a really solid call to action.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
do you want to move on to the next trailer, or how do we want to do this?
we can show off the other trailers because it kind of leads into the grade for it.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll go to trailer number 2. Are you ready for that?
Yeah. But before we do, usually we don't look at second trailers or third trailers, at least on stream. So this is like the one exception to that.
Yeah.
So far.
And you'll see why once we play all 3.
Yep.
All right, so here's trailer number 2.
Ready.
Okay.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
So we have our
So
little...
it's cute at the beginning, but not really a cold opening.
So we're seeing more of like puzzle solving and web use in this trailer.
Yeah. It's definitely showing you more stuff that you can do, and it's also like showing like the quest and whatnot, and missions and how they work.
Yeah. And I really like, again, another really solid call to action at the end.
Now, I'm not there yet. And then you got the parachuting on the leaf, which is what I use for my thumbnail.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have the bird at the end.
Yeah.
And you have a good call to action. It's not the best one, though.
Wait, are you watching the third or the second trailer?
Oh. I'm watching the third. Oops. Team, what are you doing to me? The second one.
Yeah, so like, while Shark is reviewing that one, like, this call to action on the second trailer, I think it's like better and worse than the first one in weird ways. Like, they're both really solid call to actions. I think the first one has a better look to it, but the second one being entirely in-game and using the assets, I think kind of puts it above.
It's funny that we were both talking about the skateboard at the same time, even though we were on different trailers.
I wonder if that was intentional by the developer.
Maybe.
Music still doesn't match, though. And again, it's good music, but it's not really, like, beating, or it's not really impactful on the gameplay that you're watching.
Yeah. But that call to action on that second one is amazing.
Yeah. Alright. I'm going to play trailer number 3. What's also really good is that all 3 trailers I think, feel shorter than they are. Like, they all have really great movement and pacing to them.
And they're all three solid trailers. I mean, usually what we get, what we see is one, like if they have a good trailer, we see one good trailer and then two really subpar or boring trailers.
And like at the 24-second mark of the third trailer, I like how they're showing like web puzzle physics.
Yeah.
And the footage is zoomed in, so it's looking a little bit more cropped. The music, I think, in the third trailer is probably the best of the three, because it's a little bit more energetic.
Yeah.
And then 48-second mark, we kind of have a little switch. Bird shows up. And another really solid call to action at the end.
And then the last one is the worst call to action, and it's still a good call to action.
Yeah, it's the worst of the best.
Is that the safe way to stream?
Yeah, so the reason why we played all three is that all three of these are really solid trailers. None of them would, like, individually, I would say would be like an A-rank trailer, but combined, I think they could have been like high A, even an S tier in terms of like getting all the right footage.
Yeah. If they combined all three trailers into one really good 90-second trailer, and they got better music, more fitting music, rather, I think this would be a S+ trailer.
Yeah. Like, the beginning with the spiders dancing in the first trailer, I think that could have been, like, a little after-action stinger, or show more of the skateboarding.
Yeah.
But still, I think really impressive in terms of, again, the three different areas of each trailer. So, the grade is a little weird when it comes to this one. That we were originally going to give it a B, because there's not really a strong cold opening. There's not like a huge amount of structure to it. And again, the music doesn't match. But you have three really good trailers. So we kind of like combined the three into one grade.
Well, we didn't necessarily combine the three. We gave bonus points for the other two.
Yeah.
Because, like the first trailer not selling us well enough is going to prevent people from going to the second and third, but the people that do get to that point, the second and third are going to sell people more. And Josh and I talked about it, and we thought that those two were enough to bring it up from a B to a B+ on the trailer grade. Because again, if they don't make it to the first one, they're not going to see the second two. So we couldn't go into the A range because of that. But if they took all three trailers and combined them into one Omega trailer, Alpha and Omega trailer kind of thing, and that was under 90 seconds with a little bit better music, for the theming. This would have been the best trailer we ever seen, kind of thing, I think.
Yeah. And I think B+ is fair for it. And still, though, I think really good use of content, I think, in the three trailers.
Yeah. But the call to action on the second one was by far the best.
But that's not to say that the first and the third one were wrong or bad.
No, if we were to give them grades, just the call to actions, the second one would have been an S+.
Yeah, S.
And the first one would probably have been like an A+.
And maybe the third one, maybe A, B+ kind of range, I think.
Yeah, probably A-.
Yeah. Still, though, really solid. And so with that, let's get to the images. And despite having 3 distinct trailers, all the images are original.
Which is really shocking,
Mm-hmm.
considering.
Yep.
And not only are they all original, but they all look very different. It's not like
Mm-hmm.
they're original, but we couldn't tell the difference in between them. I mean, these all look legitimately very, very different.
And they're all in different areas too. And
Hmm.
developer was also wise enough that when placing them, that they didn't just place, all the grass ones right next to each other, or all the industrial ones. They alternated. So it was grass, mining, grass, water, grass, mining.
Hmm.
So that also avoids them, all looking very similar to each other.
Yeah, it avoids a semi filling
Mm-hmm.
due to just ordering.
Yep. So like for me, this is an easy A plus.
Yeah.
And again, with images, it's very easy to score a high on them,
Yep.
right? Uh,
I actually, I might be willing to go higher than A plus for this.
hmm,
What do you think? Because I mean, it was all well ordered. They're all at least semi cropped.
mm-hmm.
Do you think we should go higher than A plus?
I don't know.
They're not like cropped by a ton, but I think if they cropped them any more, they might lose the feeling that they have. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Yeah. Hmm. What do you think?
I think I might give it an S minus.
All right. I think I'll stay at A plus. I think it's. I just don't think there's one screenshot that is like the oh my god like seller one. If it has skateboarding one, I think that would have put it
Yeah,
over.
and that's the reason why I didn't go S plus
Yeah.
or S. Just S minus because what they did, they with the screenshots they had, they did really well with them.
Yeah. I'll stay at A plus, but still really good.
Hmm.
All right. Let's go to the about this game section. So this is an example of a very small page, but it gets the point that I think it wants to do across.
Yeah, they're not just running regular GIFs. They've customized their GIFs to be thin and more friendly to you know to the consumer base on Steam.
Hmm. That
They're
first,
also, I think, zoomed in a bit. I know
mm,
the middle one and second one are definitely zoomed in.
yeah,
Don't know about the top one.
and that first one was just a really good example of getting the looping right, because you
Hmm.
can barely tell that it's re-looping back to the start.
Yep.
Second one, it's easier, but again, that's because there's things being done in this space.
But it still looks really. It's a really solid loop.
Yeah, and so is the third one as well.
Hmm. They're all really, really good quality. I mean, the only thing they could have made these just better is by putting a border around it, doing a custom border, doing something along that lines, doing some kind of, animation of GIFs inside of GIFs kind of thing,
Hmm.
like we've seen with Rise of Slime.
Yeah,
But these are really solid GIFs.
yeah. Like I could imagine like an S tier gif of this being like as the spider is like swinging, like it actually cuts to like all 3 different environments or like multiple environments, like in like one swing motion.
Yeah. I could see an S tier version of this where they replace all of this text and everything with actual, an image with the text on it, like a
Hmm.
custom banner of sorts. And then they combine all these GIFs and all those images into one image. And then they have a, embed a GIF of a skateboarding spider coming down the side of it, ramping over here at the corner, and then ramping up and coming up the side.
Yeah,
I think that would make this an S plus page.
yeah. But still, like I think the important thing to point out for people watching is that when you're doing the About This Game page, length is not really the metric of quality. It's more about the structure that you're going for. And
Yeah.
this is pretty much like on point in terms of its structure. We have text, GIF, text, GIF, text, GIF. Just do
And
that.
it's all short spurts of text, no walls of text, no. They didn't even do 2 full lines, which is good.
Yep.
That's probably the ideal. I mean, you won't ever be able to always do the ideal depending on the game, but that is the ideal. That's what you should be aiming for.
Yeah. And the text is matching the GIF that it goes with. And again, that it sounds like very trivial thing, but a lot of people mess that up.
Does that mean most developers are less than trivial?
But still, like, for me, I think this is a really solid page. I don't think I would put it, like, above and beyond. You know, like The Rise of the Slime. I think there were a few others that I think we may have given a plus to. It's hard to remember. But for me, I think this is just a solid A page.
Yeah. I'm going to go A minus because I do think they could have gone for a little bit more length or a little bit more custom in their GIFs. You know, something.
Just a little bit more to add a little bit more flourish to it.
Yeah. Either more of the good stuff or just make the good stuff they already have a little bit better. You know.
Hi, Ryan. Yeah. Yeah, the GIFs are really solid.
Yep, that they are.
All
also,
right.
hello, Ryan.
Let's go to the title card. So, again, we want to have at minimum 3 tags. Now, you can always have more, but we have 2 really good tags, action and adventure.
Usually when we get the tags, usually you get 1 good tag and 2 fillers.
Yeah. This time we have 2 good tags, 1 filler.
Yep. It would have been nice if they had another filler.
Yeah, single player would probably be like the standard here.
Yep.
All right, developer publisher. We have Twitter. We did check out the Twitter. You can send the developer a message on there, so that's good. So, the only major ding on this is that there's very little like additional social media stuff. There's no YouTube, no Facebook, no Discord.
Yeah, they're definitely getting dinged for not having a Discord on here. I don't know if they have a Discord, but if they don't, they do need one. And they should already have one, and they should definitely have it linked in here.
Yeah. So, not a lot to say about this one. Because it doesn't have a Discord and the additional social media links, that pretty much, cancels it from being in the A rank or disqualifies it. But for me, I think it's close. I'm going to give it a B+.
I'm going to go B+ too. It's solid, but not as solid as it could easily be.
Yep. So, overall grade. This is an interesting one. Like, we have our grades stored here, and in terms of, like, average-wise, this is one of the better scoring pages that we've done in a while.
Yeah. I mean, our lowest grade was a trailer grade, which is exactly what you don't want.
But it's a low grade of a B+.
Yeah.
Usually, for a lot of these pages we've done, it could be like, trailer gets a B+ or an A, something else gets like a C or a D. Like, in this case, everything is just very much highly average. Like, this is a report card you would be proud of.
Highly average.
Yeah. Is that safely extreme, too?
I think that's averagely average. I wouldn't say it's highly average. It's highly, like all the grades are falling within, they're all clustered. And they're not average because that would be C's. But all the grades are clustered.
Yeah.
All the grades are B pluses, A minuses, A's, A pluses, and S. There's no, or S minus. There's no B's or B minuses, no
C's,
C pluses,
D's.
no nothing. the lowest is a B plus, and that's solid. That's solid. But sadly, the trailer itself is a B plus, and that's the bulk of the grade.
Yeah.
So when we look at the trailer grade, it's how much can everything bring it up or down, kind of thing. And since everything is equal or higher, it's obviously only can go up from here.
Yeah.
So the final grade is going to be B plus or higher. Now then we had the thumbnail that was a B plus for you and an A minus for me. So I would move it slightly up there and you would hold it. We both gave images an A plus, which would move it up for both of us.
Well, then you give it an S minus for your images.
Yeah, that's right. And then for about this game page, I gave it an A minus, you gave it an A, which would both move it up slightly. The title card would hold it at a B plus. So what are we thinking? Like the issue is that I think that we didn't go like A plus on everything else. You know what I mean? And I don't think we could realistically raise this up by 2 grades, more or less 3.
I think an A minus is fair for an overall, just because of everything else being A and higher or holding it.
Yeah, I go with an A minus myself, which puts it at one of the highest grades we've ever graded, because we've only in the show so far we've only gotten one solid A, no A pluses for an overall grade, no higher than that. We've gotten one solid A, and I think it was 4 A minuses, and now this makes a 5th A minus.
Yeah. So again, this is really solid.
Yeah. So this is a 6th best Steam page. Well, tied in 6th / second, best Steam page.
Yep. And if this was all done by the developer, I don't know if they did it themselves or they got somebody to do it for them. Whoever did it, I think did a really damn good job.
I'm pretty sure they did it themselves because they're self-published.
Yeah.
Now they probably outsourced some of this stuff to be made for them. Like they probably outsourced the thumbnail and whatnot. But I'm pretty sure as a whole they did it themselves. They probably didn't do every part of it.
Yeah.
But they probably put the page together themselves and all that other stuff.
Well, definitely really solid. And like Shark said, one of our highest overall graded pages we've seen. We'll need to remember this when we do another, best of show recap.
Yep.
All right. Are you ready to move on to game number 2?
Yes, I am.
All right. We are switching now.